Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Sweet Tips here. And as you know, I think I put it out in some of my comments earlier. Last month, I've been sick for the whole month of March. And let's see what kind of stuff Mrs. Sweet Tips has accumulated for me. Let's just briefly take a look at what we've got here. These are some sterling silver creamer and sugar bowls. They're made out of sterling silver. Paid about 30 bucks a piece for each set. And I'm just going to set these off to the side. And then these little bags have small amounts of gold in them. And so what we'll do is go through and sort all this stuff out and see exactly what we have here. And I'm not gonna do it in regular time on the camera here. It'd take too long. And what we'll do is put it on time lapse. I'll go through all this stuff and we'll figure out what we got. I'll sort it out and put it in these bins back here. And then we'll try to do a refining on it. I've got everything sorted out now. Here's the 14K stuff. Here is the 10K. And then we've got a little bit of 18K stuff in here. I saved out a couple pieces to demonstrate what we have here. This is a bracelet. And it's made out of silver, but there are gold hearts inside of here. So these are karat gold inside of silver. That's hard to place a value on it. So we'll just kind of throw this into our silver back here and use that to inquart the gold. Here's another piece that is, it looks like gold, but if you notice, it sticks to the magnet. So that's gold plated, as is this piece. Magnet's your best friend when you're searching for gold. So I'll throw this in my gold plated bin. We have a ring here that is, I think it's 10K. It's 14K, and it has what appears to be diamonds, but these are not diamonds. These are, they'll send it up into the diamond range if you look here, but they are not diamonds. They are white sapphire, and white sapphire will cause the diamond indicator to go up, and these are not diamonds. All right, this is a piece, and this is a diamond. This is how it should react when we put the diamond tester on it. It goes up and it blinks into the diamond range. White sapphires will not do that. They'll send it up, but it won't make it all the way up into the diamond range. So these are white sapphires. Take them out and save them. These white sapphires can be used in other pieces. So we're just gonna kind of pull the setting apart, save the white sapphire. White sapphires look different than CZs, and I can kind of tell by looking the difference between a white sapphire and a CZ. And I've got some other pieces here. This piece looks like gold, but if you look at it, you see that steel post right there? They're not going to put a steel post on a piece of gold. So this is gold plated, and I'll throw it in my gold plated bin. I've got a few pieces of pure gold. This was a gold bar, 5-gram gold bar. And I'll just save that. This came out of a ring, and I think it's pure gold, even though on the back, if you can see it, it says copy. Got it upside down, of course. It says copy. but I think it is pure gold. So I'll save that. And then I got another little piece here that's in a karat gold bezel. And I'll take that bezel off. Save the piece of pure gold that's in there. And refine the bezel. Any diamonds that I find, what I'll do is I'll take them out. And then I've got a little screen here that I add these to. And I save the diamonds. I clean them off in the ultrasonic, get all the junk off of them, steam clean them. And then I'll add this piece of gold into my carat scrap. Here's a platinum ring. What I do is I set these off to the side and save these. Those are going to be diamonds. So I'll just stick it in this container right here and hang on to it until I decide to refine a batch of platinum. This is my gold-filled stuff. As I accumulate it, I put it in this bin. And then what we'll do is do a refining on this. When we accumulate enough to create a batch, maybe half a kilo of gold-filled stuff, and then we'll do a refining on that. What we'll do is get this sorted material into a melt dish and get a weight on this stuff. Start out. This is a melt dish that I'm going to use. It's cracked right there. It's okay to use a crack. It's chipped right there. It's okay to use a chipped one. But you want to check, make sure your melt dish doesn't have any cracks in it. If it's cracked, your gold could leak out and spatter all over the concrete floor. So we zero this out. This is our 14K material. I'm going to add this in. Looks like we've got 164.8 grams. What is today? Today is 3 April 225, 14K, 164.9. Not going to be able to fit any more gold in this small melt dish. So what we'll do is we'll put this up on the scale, this empty bin. Zero to scale. Here's our 10K material. Get a weight on it. Looks like we got 66 grams of 10K material. 10K, 66.0. Zero this back out. Here's our 18K stuff. Add that in. And we've got 18K, 7.5 grams. Now to figure out how much silver we need to add to this gold to inquart it properly, we multiply the 14K by 1.265. We multiply the 10K by 0.635. And we multiply the 18K by 1.9. I've calculated the estimated yield from this karat gold to be about 129 grams of 24K pure gold when we get done. I've calculated here that I need 264.6 grams of sterling silver. And what I've done is I've measured out about 258 grams of sterling silver, including the piece that has our little gold embellishments, so we can get that gold as well. And these are pieces of sterling silver. You can see on the back here, it's got sterling written right on it. See if I can focus in on that. Got sterling written on it. And on here as well, sterling silver. So now what we'll do is we'll take all this out onto the melt table, and we'll get busy inquarting this gold with this sterling silver. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start melting the karat gold. And once we get it all melted, and I get the silver alloyed with it, and what we'll do is we'll pour it into a metal container that contains some ice water, and form granules so that we can go to the next step, which is to pull the silver and base metals back out with nitric acid boils. Added the additional silver to form these granules, and what we'll do is we'll get this into a beaker now and start taking the silver and the base metals out with hot dilute nitric acid boils. Here's our inquarted gold, alloyed with silver, so we can get the gold content in the alloy down around 25%. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some distilled water in here. I'm going to put it up to about the 400 milliliter level. Distilled water. Now we're going to set this up on our heat source over here. Now what we're going to do is add some nitric acid, and I'm just going to fill it up to about, I guess let's try the 800 milliliter level, or maybe just below that. And what this will do is this will start dissolving out all the silver and base metals that was already in the carat scrap. Silver and copper and zinc are constituents of an alloy for carat gold, and we've added additional silver here now so that we can go ahead and pull all the silver and all the base metals out of here with these nitric acid boils. I haven't added any heat yet. I'm going to wait for the reaction to calm down a little bit. We'll go ahead and add some heat and do a complete extraction, get all of these silver and base metals pulled out of here. think we've got just about all the mileage that we're going to get out of this nitric acid boil. I've got some dilute nitric acid here standing by. I'm going to add some of that into this Inquarted gold. For right now, what we're going to do is pour this off into a silver jar. This liquid will have a whole bunch of silver in it, so I'm going to save it. Now what we'll do is add a little bit of water to this. A little bit of distilled water. Set it up here on the heat. I'm adding a little bit more nitric acid to my beaker over here. So it's going to be more nitric than distilled water in there, since we added that nitric to that. We're going to pour this now into our Inquarted gold and continue removing the silver and base metals from this with these dilute nitric acid boils. We're almost complete with this. I'm going to turn the heat off and let this cool down, and we'll resume this a little later. It's Friday morning, and I'm going to try to get out here early and get this thing going so that we can post this video later this evening. You see the solution still got some blue color, and that means that nitric is still pulling copper out of there. If we're still pulling copper, that's a good indication that we could possibly still have some silver in here coming out also. Add some more distilled water, just a little bit this time, and some more nitric acid. And we're going to do another nitric acid boil here. And just let this stuff react so that we can get all the silver and all the base metals pulled out of this gold. Put some heat to it now. And just let this continue to boil. Allowed this to boil in nitric acid, and I think we're at a point where all the silver and all the base metals have been pulled out of here. Look at the solution. It's still got a little color to it, but I've had it in there a couple hours. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and pour this off to our silver jar. Do is rinse this out a little bit with some distilled water. Oh yeah, look at that gold, man. It looks spectacular. It looks really good. That right there is almost 3/9 pure gold, just like it is without any further refining. But what we'll do, so I'm going to put it in some distilled water now. boil it a few minutes in some plain distilled water. Had this boiling in just plain distilled water for a few minutes. Now what I'm going to do is pour it off into my silver jar, and we're going to set it up here on my heat source. Add about a half liter of hydrochloric acid to our gold. Fill it up to about the 600 milliliter level. Now what I'll do is add a little bit of sulfuric acid, about a half a milliliter or so. I'll put that right on in to take care of any lead that may be present. This is just about 4 tray ounces of gold. I've got about 500 milliliters of hydrochloric acid in there. So what I'll do now is measure out about 50 milliliters of nitric acid. Put this on time lapse, and I'm going to add the 50 milliliters of nitric to the jar to form aqua regia in there. We're going to dissolve the gold. We're going to put it on time lapse right now and do that right now for you. I think we've got everything to dissolve here. You'll notice there's no fumes inside the beaker, so that tells me that all the excess nitric that may have been in there has been dissolved. I'll pull this down off the heat now and let it cool off. If you look here, you'll see we put the ice in there, and the ice has turned the solution a little cloudy, which tells me that we've got some, just a little bit of silver chloride in there. Now what we'll do is pull the gold through this filter. Here's our first pass through the filter. You can see all the junk we've got filtered out. So what I'm going to do now is, if you look down at the solution, it's got a little touch of cloudiness in it. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and pour this through a clean filter. Filter here, and try to get some of that cloudiness to clear up for us while we've got it in this state. Let's go ahead and pour this back through this clean filter now. I don't want to pour it back through the first filter because it took 2 hours to pull all this liquid through that filter. So I'm going to set up a fresh one and try to get this cloudiness filtered out of this solution. gold solution looks clear and bright now, free of all cloudiness. Here's what's left in the filter. You can see there's a little bit of stuff around the holes where it pulled through the filter, so there was definitely some contamination in there. So now what we're going to do is put this funnel in here, and I'm going to rinse off the gold that's still in here to a separate container so we don't get any of that crap that's up here in those pores down into our main solution over here and contaminate it again. Now what we'll do is transfer our clear and bright gold solution. Look at that, man. Beautiful. Transfer it down here into this beaker that's full of ice. Whenever I have 2 or more troy ounces of gold in solution, I always add ice because the precipitation phase creates some heat, keep the heat down, and aid the precipitation by adding some ice. Some stump out. Stump out is sodium metabisulfite. Got the solution chilled off, so it's creating some condensate on the outside of this container. So we're going to go ahead and add a spoon of stump out in. Here we go. To do this, it's best to check the solution to be certain we have gold in solution before we do the precipitation. You can see that dark stain means we've got gold in solution. Continue with the precipitation now, adding more spoons of our precipitant. This thing a stir. Let's get in here and get another status test. Verify that we've got all the gold pulled out of the solution now. There you see it, negative status test. All the gold has been precipitated. Here's our pure gold. We've allowed it to settle out. And now what we'll do is I've got a waste container here. We're going to go ahead and pour off this waste solution to my temporary waste container. Here we go. Let me reach back here and get this gold solution that we rinsed out of our filter. Here's what the filter looks like. Fairly clean. A little bit of trash. I'm going to pour this now in our waste container, and we'll get this out of here later on when we process the gold that's in the bottom of our temporary waste container. I've got some boiling distilled water. What we'll do is rinse this over and over with some boiling distilled water until we get all the chemicals rinsed off of our gold. I've got some hydrochloric acid here. Add it to the gold. And now what we'll do is we'll set this up on the heat. Boil the gold, some hydrochloric acid. I've had the gold boiling in some hydrochloric acid for a few minutes. Got a little color going on in there, a little bit of yellow color. I'm going to dump this out now, and then once I get this dumped out into the waste container, we'll rinse it over and over with some hot distilled water. All right, I severely misjudged the size of that bar. Look at that pure gold, man. Beautiful. I should have stopped and poured a separate bar instead of letting the mold overflow like that. It's just made a big mess. Got some gold down here. Stuck to the brick there. I got a whole bunch of little BBs down here. So I'm gonna have to pick all that up and put it with our yield. Tell that's pure gold by the surface there. This thing's got an odd shape to it. Here's all the little BBs that we picked up off the table. See if I can get this in the melt dish now. There we go. Let's move this mold out of the way. Obviously too small. And I've got a larger mold here, deeper one. Go ahead and start heating this up. Looks much better. I just chose the wrong size mold. Still came out looking real good, pure gold. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, here's our pure gold bar that we just got done refining. And even though we dumped it out on the table by overflowing that small mold, the bar still came out looking spectacular. I could see myself in it. All right, we were expecting 129.2 grams of pure gold. Let's see what our actual yield is. 126.9. That's off by about 3 grams, but that's not all that unusual. And so I'm fairly happy with the way this thing came out, even after remelting it. All right, this will conclude the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching.